Hello, this is part two of lesson 18, production of goods and services. In part one, we've explained the first method of production, which is job production, and now we're going to proceed talking about batch production. So let's see first what's the definition of batch production is where a quantity of one product is made, then a quantity of another item will be produced. So in batch production, we're doing more than one product, unlike the job production. We're doing a batch of product A, and then we go to do a higher quantity of product B. So over here, what is batch production? Is where similar products are made in blocks or batches. A certain number of one product is made, then a certain number of another product is made, and so on. So I produce a batch or a block of product A, then after I'm done, I do another production for another product, which is product B, in batches or in blocks. So over here, let's say an example, a small bakery making batches of bread, then after that we do a batch of another, let's say another type of products. For example, let's say we start with chairs, then I do another batch of tables. So I'm changing the product that I did in the first batch. So let's see the advantages of batch production. The first advantage is it is a flexible way of working, and production can easily be changed from one product to another. I can start with chairs, then it's a flexible way, it's smooth. I can change to tables smoothly, and it's a flexible way of production. Then it still gives some variety to workers' jobs. The workers inside this factory that's adopting the batch production, they can have more than one job. It allows more variety to products which would otherwise be identical. I'm changing the products. I have different products being produced in this factory or in this manufacturing business. This gives more consumer the choice. So they don't have only one choice, like only one type of product. No, we have different types of products. Number four, production may not be affected to any great extent if machinery breaks down. So it won't be like there's not this kind of, let's say, breakdown. We don't stop this kind of production if there's a machinery breaks down, so it's not going to be affected to a great extent. So also the disadvantages of batch production, it can be expensive. Okay, as semi-finished products will need moving about to the next production stage. So one of the first disadvantage for batch production that it is expensive. Changing the, let's say, or moving the semi-finished product from stage 1 to stage 2, it's going to be costing a lot of money to change it, the semi-finished product, from stage 1 to stage 2. The machines have to be reset between production batches, which means that there's a delay in production and output is lost. So when I'm changing, let's say, from chairs to tables, I have to reset the machines, and to change it, to set it up to, let's say, produce tables, and that's gonna take a lot of time. It's gonna make, like, it's gonna cause delay in production, and also the output is lost. So the time that I'm resetting, okay, the machines, I could have done a lot of output in it. So number three, warehouse space will be needed because I'm doing, let's say, large quantities or batches for inventories of raw material, component, and finished batches of goods. So whenever I finish doing, let's say, the chairs, as I said in the example, okay, they're going to need a space, a warehouse space, so I can put the finished products, and it's going to cost me a lot of money as storage cost. The third production or method of production is flow production. So what is flow production? Let's go back to the definition over here. So flow production is where large quantities of a product are produced in continuous process. It is sometimes referred to as mass production. So I'm producing large amount of products, not batches, not just one, but a high quantity. All right. So we refer to flow production as mass production as well, because large quantity of the same standardized product is being produced. It is called flow production because products looks like they are flowing down the production line. They are moving continuously. okay, along the production line. As we can see in the picture over here, it's like a flow, it's like a river. The basic ingredients are put together at one end of the production line, and then the product moves down and more parts are added and so on until the product is finished and packaged and ready for sale. Large numbers of identical products are being made and the cost of the production are low. So this type of production, it's not going to cost a lot of money. The business will gain from economies of scale. So examples of products produced in this way, it's cars, cameras, TVs, packaged food, and drinks. So they are products that are used or being sold because customers, they need it on a daily basis. So the advantages of flow production, number one is high output. We're going to get from flow production high output, okay, of standardized product. Number of products being produced is going to be in a large quantity. The cost of making each item are going to be kept low. Therefore, the prices are going to be low since the cost it's low. So I don't have to set high prices for the customers. So the prices are going to be low. All right. Number three, it is easy for capital-intensive production methods to be used, reducing labor cost and increasing efficiency. So in this flow production, the most used, let's say, production is the capital-intensive, and we've explained it in part one. It means that I'm using the number of machines is going to be way more than the number of workers. So also, continually speaking about capital-intensive methods allow workers to specialize in specific repeated tasks, and therefore the business may require only relatively unskilled workers. Little training may be needed. So, as I said, it is a capital-intensive product. Fine. So the machines are doing like the hard job, the complicated tasks. So the other or the remaining jobs, okay, they're going to be for few workers, and most probably they're going to be unskilled workers, and they do not need a lot of training because already the complicated jobs are being taken by the machines. So the cost of training is going to be removed. The cost of hiring skilled labor or workers is going to be removed as well. It may benefit from economies of scale in purchasing, so lowering the average cost. Low average cost and therefore low prices, usually means high sale, and this is exactly like similar to point number 2. All right. Automated production lines can operate 24 hours a day. So there's no need for the machines to turn off because it's just a machine and it's all automated. So there's no problem to keep the machine working 24 hours. And let's say using the time, okay, to produce more. There is no need to move goods from one part of the factory to another, as with the batch production, so time is saved. So basically, the advantages over here, they're just like comparing between methods of production, and this is an extra for you to know, okay, when you are trying to compare or to give advantage when you are showing, let's say, disadvantages of the other production method. So the disadvantages of flow production, number one is a very boring system for the workers themselves, and there is no satisfaction, and when the workers are not satisfied, definitely there's no motivation for the workers to work. Number two, there are significant storage requirements. Cost of inventories of raw material, component, and finished product can be very high unless just-in-time systems are used. So because I know that flow production, producing high quantity, so definitely I need significant storage requirement. Okay, the capital cost of setting up the production line can be very high. So if I'm using flow production, it's gonna cost me a lot of money to start up this to set up this production line, and it's going to cost me a lot of money. And number four, if one machine breaks down, the whole production line will have to be halted. So because it's flow production, okay, it's based on machines, so whenever a machine breaks down, the whole line is going to stop, unlike the batch production. So factors affecting which method to use. So if I want to say, let's say, which one shall I use? Shall I use job production, batch production, or flow production? It's different. I have to, let's say, consider several factors before deciding which method to use. And these factors are, number one, the nature of the product that I'm using. All right. If a fairly unique product or an individual service is required, okay, job production will be used. So if I'm doing only a unique product, one product at a time for an individual or a service, okay, job production is the best method to use. Okay, if the product can be mass produced, I need a huge quantity of the product, definitely, or no, using automated production line, definitely the flow production is going to be the most suitable one for me to use. Number two, the second factor I should consider is the size of the market, which is the size or number of people I'm dealing with or I'm selling to. If the demand is high and more products can be sold out, but not pay attention, not in very large quantities, batch production will be used. So the demand is high, but it's not like demanded in a large quantity, so definitely the batch production. If the product will be produced in a certain quantity to meet a particular order, okay, so small local markets or niche market will be served by the business using job or batch production, not flow production. So international markets are served by businesses using flow production, because we know that the international markets, they ask for large quantities of products. So, number three, we should consider the nature of demand. If there is a large and fairly steady demand for the product, such as soap powder, it becomes economically to set up a production line or continuously produce the product, because this is something that we like customers, they need it like on a daily basis. So definitely flow production, because I know I need large amount of soap. Okay, the demand is high for this type of product. If the demand is less, okay, or less frequent, okay, such as furniture, so definitely it could be like job or batch production. Now, the fourth one to consider is the size of the business, the size of the business. So the size of the business, also, if the business is small and does not have access to large amount of capital to set up this production, okay, or large scale using automated production lines, so definitely only large businesses can operate in, let's say, flow production. So if it's a small business, definitely they will go for job or batch production methods. So here we have only 5 factors to consider. Now, Miss, we're going to be talking about how technology has changed production methods. So we know that job, batch, and flow production, okay, like without the technology. Let's see how the technology changed these 3 production methods. So technological advances have allowed the mechanization and automation of production methods in many industries. For example, the car industry is almost entirely automated. So when we are like manufacturing cars, okay, it's entirely automated. This use of automation, robotics, and CAD/CAM keeps businesses ahead of the competition, keeps costs falling, reduce prices, and improve the product manufactured. So there's a lot of benefits for when technology is helping the production method. So here we're going to see how technology has changed the production method. Okay, starting with automation, and we've explained what's automation previously in this lesson, is where equipment is used in the factory as controlled by a computer to carry out mechanical processes such as paint spraying on a car. So the production line will consist mainly of machines. When I'm using automation, it's just machines, and only a few people will be needed to ensure everything is proceeded smoothly. The people that I need in the automated, let's say, production, is just to make sure that everything is working fine, and they're just like they're just controlling the whole production system of machines. Number two, the mechanization is where the production is done by machines but operated by people. For example, printing press robots are machines that are programmed to do tasks particularly useful for unpleasant, dangerous, and difficult jobs. They are quick, very accurate, and they work non-stop 24 hours. So the difference between automation and mechanization is automation, the machine does all the process without let's say without being operated by people. The people in the automation, they're just to control or to make sure that everything is fine. Meanwhile, the mechanization, the machine is being operated by the people or employees. We have CAD, computer-aided design, is a computer software that draws items being designed more quickly and allows them to be rotated to see the item from all sides instead of having to draw it several times. So it's just on the computer I draw and I design the product and I can see it in different directions. It's used to design new products or restyle existing products. So it's either like I'm doing it for a new product, I'm drawing a new product, or I'm trying to do a new design, or I'm restyling existing product. It's particularly useful for detailed technical drawings. All right, number 4 is computer-aided manufacture, is where computers monitor the production process and control machines or robots on the factory floor. So it's automated, but who controls and who operates are also computer monitors. They're not people, just like mechanization. CIM, computer integrated manufacturing, is the total integration of computer aided CAD and computer aided manufacturing CAM. The computer designs the product and then directly they are linked to other computers to start the manufacturing process, to start the design that was on the CAD. So technology also not only in factories, but also improved the productivity in shops with electronic payment methods and scanners at the tiles. Okay, so we have electronic point of sales, which is EPOS. It's used at checkouts where the operators scans the barcode of each item individually, the one we see like in in superstores. The price and description of the item is going to be displayed on a small screen monitor and printed out as a receipt. And everything that is being, let's say, scanned is going to be recorded, and the inventory records automatically the change how one item has been sold. So in the inventory, we're gonna know that there was a unit that was sold. The EFTPOS, electronic funds transfer at point of sale, there's where an electronic cash register is connected to the retailer's main computer and also to banks over a wide area computer network. So the shopping card will be swiped at the tile and the bank information will automatically be read from the card, like this picture. This is electronic funds transfer at point of sale. So the money will directly be debited from the customer's account after they have signed for the debit to be made or have entered their PIN. After I enter the PIN over here, money will be transferred from the account of the customer to the account of the shop. Contactless payment is increasingly being used in many countries. It is as fast and easy and secure way to pay for purchases that are less than a small amount. For example, in the UK, you can do the contactless payment only if you want to pay £30 or less. So if I want to like buy something that's more than £30, I should put a passcode, and it's going to be a larger passcode, and I should put my fingerprint and to ensure that this transaction is being correct. So this is all what you need to know about the contactless payment. Okay, now the advantages of new technology. Okay, we're going to see what's the advantages of new technology. Number 1, the productivity is greater as more efficient production methods are used, reducing average cost. So because of new technology, we have productivity, lower cost, and more efficient production methods. So greater job satisfaction, okay, stimulates workers are being motivated by the new technology. No more routine, no more boring jobs, and now it's all being done by the machines. More skilled workers may be needed to use and maintain new technology. I need to train the workers for the new, let's say, technology. Business must offer trainings for existing workers in order for them to be able to deal with the new technology or the new machines. The workers become more motivated and therefore improve the quality of their work. Better quality products are being produced, okay, more accurate production methods, so better quality, better productivity, okay, and also quicker communication and reduced paperwork. There's no more paperwork because everything is being, let's say, online and you're using technology. Owing to computers lead to increase in profitability. The information that is available to managers through the use of IT is much greater, so more information available for managers through IT, which is information technology. and this should result in better and quicker decision making. This information is going to help the managers to do better decisions. Number 7, high-tech products are introduced as new technology makes completely new products available. When I add technology to the products that I'm selling, so new products are going to be available because of technology. The disadvantages of new technology: number 1, unemployment would rise because machines are replacing humans and computers are replacing people on factory floor and in offices. I'm using robots, machines, instead of normal employees. So it is expensive to invest in new technology. I have to pay a lot of money for the new technology, the new machines. So it increases the risk as large quantities of product need to be sold to cover the cost of purchasing the equipment. So it is expensive. Let's say I bought a machine that was worth like $40,000. So as let's say a manager, I will tell myself I have to produce large quantities of product, and not only to produce but also to sell in order to cover the cost of the equipment I bought for the factory. Number 3, employees may be unhappy with the changes in their work practices when new technology introduced. The employees will not be accepting to the new technology. They are used to a specific way of work. New technology is changing all the time and often become outdated quickly. So if I bought this machine in 2019, okay, it's going to be outdated soon because there are going to be new models for 2020 or 2021. Okay, it's going to be outdated quickly, and it's going to be we need to replace it in the business to remain competitive. That was part 2 of lesson 18, production of goods and services. Don't forget to watch part 1 before you watch this video, okay? See you in the coming video. Thank you.